Well, Labor luminary Joel Fitzgibbon wants Anthony Albanese and Peter Dutton to agree to a pact ahead of the election to get behind whoever wins government to guarantee supply, therefore sidelining the minor parties. Joining us live is the former Labor Minister, Joel Fitzgibbon. Joel, good to see you. Thanks for your time this morning. He's back,
pleasure.
everybody, and it's good to talk to you. So why do you think, first of all, that this is a good idea, Joel?
Well, Pete, I don't know about the luminary bit, but this is an idea to save the Australian economy from what could be a disastrous hung parliament. I was chief government whip in the last hung parliament. I saw it very close up, and it's very, very ugly, and it has the potential to put a chilling effect on the Australian economy. Now, a strong Australian economy is one which delivers more revenues to fund things like schools and hospitals and infrastructure. And of course, very importantly at this point in time in our history, more funding for our defence force. Now, the reality is that someone will end up with more seats than the other. One of the major parties will win more seats than the other party. I doubt very much that either party will secure the 76 votes required to rule in their own right. I still hold some hope for the Labor Party, of course, but I think it's looking very, very tough. But someone will hold more seats than the other. What I propose is a pact between the major parties to squeeze out the crossbenchers, particularly those on the hard left, and to ensure that we take this opportunity to have a bipartisan economic plan for the country, which will grow the economy, deal with the outrageous regulatory burden business faces, investors face in this country, and deliver something meaningful through a period which could have been quite a problematic time for the economy, and to turn that into something very beneficial for the economy.
If this were to happen, though, Joel, wouldn't that deny democracy and the parties that people vote for?
Now, at the heart of the Westminster system is the delivery of MPs in that lower house. And that lower house determines the government of the day. And of course, in the early periods of our federation, governments regularly changed on the floor of the House of Representatives. We didn't have to, and we still don't have to, under the Constitution, go back to the people to have a change of government. So and of course, the Liberal Party and National Party do this regularly. I mean, the Labor Party always has more seats in the House of Representatives than do either the Liberal or the National parties. But the Liberals and Nats have this deal. Now, there's nothing stopping the leader who has the second most number of seats, saying to the person who has the most number of seats, look, I'll guarantee you supply and confidence for an 18-month period if you agree to an economic package, which we can get through both the House of Representatives and the Senate. And that last point is the important one. Even if one of the major parties secures 76 seats at this next election and rules in their own right, no one will have control of the Senate. Without passage of legislation through the Senate, it's difficult to do things. So this is sort of arguably a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to work on a bipartisan. Now, the parties will still be able to fight about anything else they like. They can still fight over every bill that comes into the parliament. But when the economic package comes, agreed in consultation with the two major parties and in consultation with the unions and business, the peak industry bodies, the unions, the community sector representatives, all agreed in a Bob Hawke style tax summit. When that legislation comes to the House and to the Senate, we agree to pass it.
Well, I mean, we'd be, with Dutton and Albanese, we'd be talking about pretty strange bedfellows here. How likely do you think this would be to succeed?
Well, look, it's a bit of a Hail Mary. I accept that. We have a hyper-partisan environment in our federal parliament, more so, I will argue, than in our mother parliament, Westminster, more so in New Zealand, more so than in Canada, which all use the same systems. But this is an opportunity. Rather than go through another 3 years of getting not much done at all, although I have to say we got an extraordinary amount done in that last hung parliament, but business for 3 years won't know what's coming next.
Okay.
We could give both certainty and deliver economic growth, efficiencies, lower that regulatory burden, deliver a growth dividend so we can fund those things that are desperately in need of funding. We are spending a lot more on defence now than we were previously, but it won't be enough. We need to spend more.
And Trump certainly wants us to spend a bit more on that, get upwards of 3, maybe even 4%. Well, he wants some of the Europeans to get to 5%. But
it's an unreasonable position for Trump to say, look, I'm spending almost 4% of my economy on defence, and I'm carrying all you guys. We need to spend more, and so do the Europeans.
Good to see you, Joel. Talk to you again soon.